So what is a micro catchment? A micro catchment is a specially designed area. Sorry, it is a specially designed area. How do you design this area? You generally construct a slope, or you will make this on a slopey land, right? So it will have a slope and it will have, think these are plants, okay, or trees, okay. They also have the cultivable area. They have this slopey area and they will have this cultivable area. So slopey area is called as catchment area and this is cultivable area, okay. So catchment area is a slope from where you collect the runoff of the water and you save it in the plant basins. You collect it in the plant basins and you save the water for the purpose of the plants. This is a micro catchment. And this micro catchment can be of different size and shape. So it is different size and shape depending on the soil structure, texture, plant type, slope, effective rainfall. All these define the size and shape of the micro catchments. So these micro catchments can be of square type, they can be of rectangle type, they can be of triangular type, they can be semicircular, or they can be circular in shape. They can be of different shapes, or they can be of V shape. This is triangle. They can be of V shape. So how do you generally design? Is that you have a plant. These are its roots. So this is the basin, or this is the cultivable area. Here you catch the runoff water, you store it for the purpose of the, so runoff will be from like that, from the slope, and the runoff will be stored in the plant basins. This is a micro catchment. So here for the micro catchment, the cultivable area and the catchment area are important. Catchment area and cultivable area are important. So micro catchment is the ratio of catchment area to the cultivable area. Here C is catchment area, which is the place where the runoff is generated and transported under the slope to the cultivable area where the plant has been planted. Generally the C is to CA. It varies from 1:1 to 3:1. But in the low rainfall areas, it might exceed up to 10:1. So 1:1. So slope is equal to the cultivable area, or slope is a bit more than the cultivable area, or in low rainfall areas, what you do, you construct a steep slope. You construct the steep slope so that the water will run off faster with higher velocity and can be collected. All the water that you collect in the low rainfall areas, because the rainfall will be of shortage, so you don't want the water to percolate into the land, so it has to come down to this catchment area faster, or the storage area faster. So we have to construct a steep slope. And here we have one more term called runoff coefficient. So what is the runoff coefficient? It is the ratio between the runoff and the rainfall. It is the ratio between the runoff and rainfall, which depends upon, again, soil type, slope, and the vegetative cover, because soil type, slope, and vegetative cover define the runoff. And this value generally varies from 0.1 to 1. The rainfall coefficient value generally varies from 0.1 to 1. So typical values for the runoff coefficient. We have some typical values for the runoff coefficient for sandy soils plus bushes. When you have sandy soils plus bushes, the rainfall coefficient is 0.1. Whereas when you have sandy coefficient plus light bushes, the coefficient is 0.2. When you have loamy soils plus cultivation is going on there, so then it will be 0.4. And the clayey soils, you will have 0.4 again, because the clayey soils have very stiff base. Okay, so for the sandy plus bushes, when you have high bushy area in the sandy soils, the rainfall coefficient will be 0.1. Whereas in the sandy soils plus light bushes, it will be 0.2. For clear explanation, so sandy plus bushes, you will have 0.1, which is 1 by 10. So the rainfall is 10 and the runoff is 1 because of the bushes. The runoff is less because of the bushes, and 2 by 10. The runoff is a bit more here because of light bushy area. It is not completely covered by bushes but very lightly, sparsely. And in loamy and cultivable area, in the loamy soils, the runoff will be a bit more than the sandy soils. So 4 by 10, even though cultivation is going on, it will be 4. And then the clayey soils, even though it is not cultivated, as the clayey soils are very stiff, the percolation rate will be very low and we have more chances of runoff. So it is again 4 by 10. Now, how do you calculate the amount of water harvested? The amount of water harvested is equal to catchment area into designed rainfall into runoff coefficient into efficiency factor. So the water harvested, how can you calculate the water harvested? Amount of water harvested is equal to catchment area into designed rainfall into runoff coefficient into the efficiency factor. So what is the designed rainfall here? The designed rainfall is the effective rainfall, which should be more than 5 mm. So the amount of rainfall which is more than 5 mm is generally considered as the desired rainfall. The efficiency factor, this varies with the field structure and slope. Its value varies, and its value generally varies from 0.5 to 0.7. This is about how you calculate the amount of water harvested. And how will you construct a microcatchment? Microcatchment is generally developed around a tree. You develop it around the tree. Why? Because you can increase the efficiency of storage of the rainfall water and also thereby increasing the yield of the crop. In the slopey land, this type of catchments could be developed across the slope. So on the slopey lands, you can construct these microcatchment across the slope. Just a moment, it's moving a lot. So for tree crops, according to the interspace available, catchments are formed. Catchments are formed based on the distance between the tree crops or the spacing between the tree crops. It stores the rainwater where it falls and helps in growing the tree. For the plain and hilly areas, the shape of the bunds are decided. So now we will see the types of microcatchments. Types of microcatchments. First one is circular. So how do you generally construct? If this is a plant, you make this circular shape trenches. You dig out the circular shape. So ఇక్కడ ట్రీ ఉంటే దాని చుట్టూ కూడా ఒక సర్క్యులర్ షేప్, యూ డిగ్ అవుట్ ద సాయిల్ ఫ్రమ్ దిస్. ఒక ట్రీ ఉంటే దీని చుట్టూ కూడా యూ విల్ కన్స్ట్రక్ట్ ద సర్క్యులర్, ఇక్కడ బండ్ కన్స్ట్రక్ట్ చేస్తాము. సో ఈ బండ్ కన్స్ట్రక్ట్ చేస్తే ఇదంతా కూడా ట్రెంచ్ ఏరియా అనమాట. అంటే యూ రిమూవ్ ఆల్ ద సాయిల్ అరౌండ్ ద ట్రీ. ఒక పిట్ లాగా తయారు చేసి, ఇది ఒక బండ్ లాగా తయారు చేసి, యూ ప్లాంట్ అ ట్రీ ఇన్ ద మిడిల్. సో యూ ప్లాంట్ అ ట్రీ ఇన్ ద మిడిల్ అండ్ యూ కన్స్ట్రక్ట్ ద బండ్ అరౌండ్ బై రిమూవింగ్ ఆల్ ద సాయిల్ ఫ్రమ్ ద pit. This is a circular basin. So circular basins are generally preferred in plain areas. Plain areas ఉంటే circularది తయారు చేస్తారనమాట. This is generally for fruit crops. Circular or semi-circular ఈ రెండు కూడా generally preferred for fruit crops. Plain areasలో circular యూస్ చేస్తాము. Whereas for slopey areas we construct semi-circular షేప్స్, సెమీ-సర్క్యులర్ బేసిన్స్ అనమాట. ఇవేమో స్లోపీ ఏరియాస్లో మనం కన్స్ట్రక్ట్ చేస్తాం. ఇట్ ఈస్ సూటబుల్ జనరలీ దీస్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ మైక్రో క్యాచ్మెంట్స్ ఆర్ సూటబుల్ ఆర్ దీస్ టైప్ ఆఫ్ బేసిన్స్ ఆర్ సూటబుల్ ఫర్ ద ఫ్రూట్ క్రాప్స్. బండింగ్స్ వర్ ఫార్మ్డ్ ఇండివిజువలీ ఫర్ ఈచ్ ట్రీ. ప్రతి ట్రీకి కూడా మనం ఇండివిజువల్ బండ్స్ అనేది మనం ఫార్మ్ చేసి వాటర్ని స్టాప్ చేస్తామన్నమాట. ఫర్ ప్లెయిన్ ల్యాండ్ ఏరియా as we discussed it is circular, and for slopey area it is semicircular bunds. The distance between these two bunds depends on the spacing. ikkada kuda the distance between these two and these two depends on the spacing of the trees anamata. మనం ట్రీ స్పేసింగ్ని దృష్టిలో పెట్టుకొనే బండ్ స్పేసింగ్ని డిసైడ్ చేస్తాం. ఓకే, సో వై వి సే దట్ ఇన్ ప్లెయిన్ ఏరియాస్ ఇట్ ఈస్ సర్క్యులర్ ఉన్నప్పుడు ఒకవేళ స్లోపీ ఏరియా ఉంది, సర్క్యులర్ బండ్ ఉంది, హౌ కెన్ దిస్ రెయిన్ వాటర్ బీ కలెక్టెడ్ ఫ్రమ్ హియర్ ఇఫ్ యూ హ్యావ్ ఎ బండ్? నో, రెయిన్ వాటర్ విల్ స్టాప్ హియర్. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ నాట్ సూటబుల్ ఫర్ సర్క్యులర్. అదే ప్లెయిన్ ఏరియాస్, ప్లెయిన్ ల్యాండ్లో ఉంది, సర్క్యులర్ ఉంటే వచ్చిన రెయిన్ వాటర్, పైనుంచి వచ్చిన రెయిన్ వాటర్ దీనిలో స్టోర్ అయిపోతుంది. కానీ వెన్ యూ హ్యావ్ స్లోప్ ఉన్నప్పుడు, స్లోపీ ల్యాండ్ ఉన్నప్పుడు సెమీ సర్క్యులర్ అయితే వచ్చిన రన్ ఆఫ్ అంతా కూడా సెమీ సర్క్యులర్ దానిలోకి వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. ఓకే, అండ్ సెకండ్ వన్ ఏంటి? వీ షేప్డ్ డిచెస్. సో వీ షేప్డ్ డిచెస్ అంటే ఇక్కడ వీ కెన్ రిప్రజెంట్ దెమ్ లైక్ దిస్. ఓకే, this dots always represents the plants and this represents the basins. In the land area where you have 4 to 6 meters interval, so where you have the 4 to 6 meters interval, then you can use V-shaped ditches. These V-shaped ditches are formed with the help of a machine. ఇది మెషిన్తో కానీ ఆన్ యానిమల్ డ్రాన్ మెషిన్ ఆర్ నార్మల్ మెషిన్. సో ఈ మెషిన్స్తో మనము ఈ V-shaped ditches అనేవి we will draw it, and down the line of a ditch covered with the soil bunding, and the trees are planted in the pits based on the spacing needed. సో సాయిల్లో మనం ఇట్లా ఒక వీ షేప్లో పిట్ తయారు చేసి విల్ గివ్ అన్ ఇంటర్వెల్ అండ్ అగైన్ అ పిట్. దిస్ సాయిల్ విల్ బీ కవర్డ్ హియర్. ఓకే, ఇది బండ్. దిస్ ఈస్ ద పిట్, this is the bund, and we plant the plant in the pits. Okay, this is a V-shaped ditch. And next one, third one is catch pits or small pits. This is a very old technique. Catch pit is a very old technique which is generally been used in the dryland areas. ఇది జనరల్గా డ్రైలాండ్ ఏరియాస్లో we use the catch pits అనమాట. క్యాచ్ పిట్స్ డిస్టెన్స్ డయామీటర్ ఎంత ఉంటుంది అంటే 0.3 to 2 meters of diameter. We use 0.3 to 2 meters of diameter ఉన్న పిట్స్ని, I think this is 2 meter diameter pit. ఈ pitని we will generally construct. This pits consists of digging hole to a depth of 5 to 15 centimeters. So we will construct this pit, and the depth of pit will be generally 5 to 15 centimeters, and the diameter of the pit is generally 0.3 to 2 meters. This is the small pit. This is generally old technique and constructed in the dry land areas. Fourth one is contour ridges. What are contour ridges? These are the bunds or the ridges constructed along the contour line. So as we all know, there will be contour lines, and in contour lines meeda you construct bunds. These are contour bunds, right? Or contour ridges. The spacing between two contour ridges are usually 5 to 20 meters. ఒక్కొక్క కంటూర్ రిడ్జ్కి డిఫరెన్స్ 5 to 20 meters, or contour bundకి డిఫరెన్స్ 5 to 20 meters ఉంటుంది. This will be the slopy land here, and you collect the water here. ఈ బండ్ అనేది ఇలా ఉంటుంది కదా, ఈ బండ్కి ఇక్కడంతా స్లోప్ ఉంటుంది. సో స్లోప్ ఉన్న తర్వాత యూ విల్ హ్యావ్ దిస్ ట్రెంచ్ హియర్, రైట్? వెన్ యూ కన్స్ట్రక్ట్ అ బండ్, యాజ్ డిస్కస్డ్ హియర్, whenever you construct a bund, so you will have a trench before that. You will dig the soil from here and you throw it here and construct a bund. So this trench will be here anamata, or there will be a bit of depression like area untundi. Mundanta catchment area untundi, depression like area, and then a bund. So imagine this on the slope. Slope lo imagine చేసుకున్నప్పుడు this will be a slope, this will be the depression, and this will be the bund area. Okay, so the first 1 to 2 meters above the ridge is for cultivation, whereas the rest is for the catchment. So as we discussed, it is 5 to 20 meters for the is the distance between two ridges kada. So ఈ first 1 to 2 meters distance ఏదైతే ఉందో, where the probability of water collection is more, ఈ 1 to 2 meters అనేది we use as a catchment or cultivable area. మిగతాదంతా కూడా catchment area. So again, contour lines మీద we construct contour bunds. Okay, slopey ఏరియాలో. అండ్ కంటూర్ బండ్స్కి ఒక కంటూర్ బండ్కి మధ్యలో డిఫరెన్స్ 5 to 20 meters ఉంటుందన్నమాట. ఈ ఫస్ట్ 1 to 2 meters, when you have this 1 to 2 meters above the contour bund, this 1 to 2 meters distance above the contour bund is generally considered as the cultivable area. So you cultivate in this area, and the rest is meant for the catchment area. Okay, and how do you decide the height of each ridge? The height of each ridge depends on the slope of the land. So more the slope, the bund height anedi, the height of the bund will be varied. Okay, so these are 4 different types of micro catchments, and this is all about the micro catchment. If you have any questions regarding this, please feel free to ask me again.